So the political classes, even when the party branch or group used to meet in the mills, but the language used during those meetings would have been
when Shan comes, of course, Sinhala and Tamil, because then, but in the small group meetings, of course, now for example in our group, Tamil was the media, because Sodivel he can speak Tamil but he can't explain things in Sinhala, so he was conducting the meeting in Tamil. But once in a month, when some of the senior members come from head office, Shan comes, of course, he speaks in Sinhala, and I used to translate into Tamil. And even if the Sinhala comrades feel that this should be translated, then they will ask me to translate. I'll do the translation.
Okay, so that's when you started developing this skill and this role as an interpreter.
Yes, I can remember once I was attending a youth conference in Newtown Hall, right? So at the head table, at the beginning itself, the chairman of the conference informed the assembly and said, today our interpreter, Mr. Karavekansami, is not well. Suddenly he got some illness. So if you have anybody is able to translate whenever necessary, please come. That was the announcement. So after the announcement also, when the necessity arose at the conference, the chairman asked for the Tamil translation. If the person can come and translate. So I, as a boy, I went and translated. So from that onwards, because those days also I used to, I was in a practice of learning the language. Some terminologies I used, some of the Sinhala comrades also, they were happy about that, because they didn't know that word. So this boy is using that language. So they praised me, you are a good translator. And so from that day onwards, I used to do translate. Even Shan, some or other recognized me as a good translator. So later on, he used to take me for his lectures. Karavekansami is not bad, good, but literature and various things, they are not very familiar. Even Sivadasan is also doing translations, but he also not familiar with the Sinhala literature. In my case, I knew the Buddhist culture and Sinhala literature, so when I used terminologies, proper terminology, proper pronunciation in Sinhala and various things, they prefer me. Even I can remember when now the Professor Shanmugaratnam, M. Shanmugaratnam, who is at Norway, he was the secretary of the Students' Union at Peradiga. I can remember well, then Shanmugadasan was lecturing about the cultural revolution during that period to the Students' Union. So he was speaking in Sinhala, because when in the southern region, he used to speak in Sinhala. In the northern or upcountry or eastern province, he used to speak in Tamil. So in the Peradeniya University, he spoke in Sinhala. I translated into Tamil, because there were so many Tamil students there. No? So even cultural revolution is a deep ideology is also there. No? So I was able to translate it.
Is there anything that is there anything that you are taking away from this? And we are taking a lot, your rich life and history experiences, but is there anything that you feel you might be taking away from this, from these interviews?
Yes, I am also taking many things, really recalling my life history and what I have did in the past is always, I am not worried about that. During those periods, I have acted according to my consciousness, and I felt that that may not be very much higher up, because I was not expecting any higher up positions, or I didn't have any ambition like that. But I had an ambition to, because I observed my small age, that there are a different treatment to different people due to their economical or their family background and various things. So even from my small age, when I was a young person, I thought that I must do something to equalize the situation. When you look back my life, at the earliest situation, I thought this can be adjusted through religion. Religion is the only way. So religion, in the sense, first I thought the God is the supreme authority, so we have to obey him, pray him, and he is the person who is going to do the correct thing to the society. But later on I understood God may be there or may not be there, that is not my business. And I followed Buddhism. Buddhism means really the practical. Buddhism is something else in Sri Lanka, but the Buddha, his teachings and his philosophy is very scientific. So I followed that, and I practiced most of the rituals of Buddhism also, but I understood that the rituals are not useful. The rituals are, they are in order to segregate the society and to suppress the society. But even now, from Buddhism, I learned a lot of things in the sense, when you look at a problem, you should not take a side. Impartially you have to look into that problem. And evidence-based decisions are very important. Those lessons really I have learned from Buddhism. And Buddhism is the philosophy which really guided me not to use liquor and so on and so forth. That is also, I feel, that very much useful. And later on I switched on to the left politics. So during that period I believed strongly one day we can change the society. But that, according to my experience, at the beginning it was not directly, it didn't take a violent position, but in certain things, according to the philosophy, the class struggle and various things I accepted. But after joining this East Wind, because they really practiced violence. Through violence only the state power can be captured and so on. Because I also didn't understand very properly about that, because I respected the people who were preaching to me and who were actively involved in him, and they were very much committed for this cause. So during that period, philosophically I was not very much understood. But later on, when I was in the prison for 2 years, I understood that this is also wrong. Then I participated after releasing me, I participated for the release of political prisoners, and during my government service I was in the various strikes and struggles. I feel that those are also necessary in the life, and learned a lot from that. And criticism and self-criticism I learned from that experience. after that, democratic rights and human rights, I am engaged in. But in democratic rights also, some of our leaders, they used to preach democracy, but practice not democracy. That problem is there. I don't know how to overcome this difficulty. Very good people, but when they act, there are some human weaknesses are there. So through democratic human rights also I have learned many things. So I met various types of human beings. From them also I have learned many things. Even now I am observing and learning, and if there are any corrections to be made in my life, I always prepare to do that. So I am satisfied my life.
It's great. It's great to be able to look back on a long life and feel content instead of eaten up with regrets. And to Sabapathy Sivagurunathan, thank you very much for sharing your time and your life with us.
So thank you very much because you have given an opportunity to recall my life. That is also very much, because otherwise I won't recall it. Yes. Okay. Thank you.